Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and today I'm back with the lovely Flowering Rainboots stamp set, and today we're going to make a fun fold, and what I'm actually going to do is I'll show you the fun fold, which is a really straightforward one if you're new to fun folds, and I'm just going to use stamps, ink and paper. So we're not going to do any die cutting, but at the end of the video I will show you a way you can step it up if you've got the dies instead. Lovely stamp set. This one is photopolymer, and you've got some fabulous shading on there, so it's like you've got all the shading already in there, and the dies that come with it cut out all of those main images, and then you've got a couple of extra ones to create a trellis and also a little hand tool as well. So that's the stamp set I'm going to be using. The paper I'm going to use is this one here from the Flowering Tulips suite. It's called Flowering Fields. It's got lots of different colours in it. You have got everything from Calypso Coral to a deep evening evergreen. You've got some fresh freesia in there, Highland Heather, Mango Melody, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Rich Raspberry and Soft Succulent and So Saffron. Wow, so many colours. You've got two each of 6 designs, 12 by 12 paper, and on the front you've got these lovely tulip themed designs. This one's just a lovely bright red dot, always useful, and then on the reverse you've got those more generic ones. You've got some lovely sort of cloud-like ones on here, some lovely sort of trellis work. This one again is a kind of a cloudish kind of paint effect, and then on the back here we've got some more. So that's the paper I'm going to use, and here's the card. So it's a Dutch door card or a double Dutch fold. Nice card. Again, it stands up. I don't like fun folds that sit flat. I always find a way of doing them, and so this one you've got that lovely little panel, and then as you can see behind that on the inside I've actually stamped that same image again in a lighter colour, so you've got some fun in there as well. We've stamped onto the DSP here. Now obviously if you're not comfortable doing that, pop it on a panel, and then we've got these panels in the front here for our focal image. So that's the card we're making. I thought I'd mixed it a little bit with the colours, so I thought we'd pick out the Soft Succulent and Petal Pink. So this piece, just be careful when you cut your DSP, and I'll tell you how I know that. It is slightly wider than it is high, so if you've got a directional image, just make sure you bear that in mind. This is 9.5 by 9 centimetres, 3 3/4 by 3.5. The DSP 9 centimetres wide by 8.5, 3.5 by 3.25. Then for our panel for the front, we've got some Soft Succulent, which is 7 by 6 centimetres, 2 3/4 by 2 3/8. We've got some Petal Pink, 6.7 by 5.7, 2 5/8 by 2 1/4, and then a piece of basic white, 6.4 by 5.4. So that's what we're going to do our stamping on. So let's start with that. I've got the sentiment here, live life in full bloom, and I'm going to use my Soft Succulent for that. So we want this kind of just above halfway, so I'm going to pop this, there we go. It is a photopolymer stamp, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat on this, or under it, because that way you'll get a much better image. So there we go. Again, just bearing in mind what the size of it, keeping it nice and square. Live life in full bloom. Okay, I'm then going to use the same Soft Succulent for my leaves. And what I'm going to do here is just pop a little piece of paper underneath your image, because you're going to stamp just at the bottom. This has got like a stepped image so that it fits in the top of the boots, so I don't want to use that, so I just want to pop my leaves at the bottom there. That lives just in the middle there. It leaves plenty of space for our tulip flowers, which I'm going to stamp in Calypso Coral. So Calypso Coral works really well with Petal Pink. It's a lovely deep shade. It's quite sort of an orangey colour. And photopolymer, you can just look through. So I'm just lining those tulips up with the top of the stems. And you'll see there, you've got those super tulips. Put that to one side. I'm then going to repeat that process on my panel of card for the inside. So this is actually 9.5 by 14 centimetres. So again, just pop that in the centre. But because it's on the inside of the card, I quite like on the inside to have a slightly lighter colour. So what I'm going to do is you could either stamp off your Calypso Coral if you wanted, or use a lighter shade. So what do I mean by stamping off? So if you're not familiar with the term, it's also called second generation stamping. So what you do is you stamp once and then you stamp a second time to get a lighter impression. It doesn't work quite as well with distinctive stamps because obviously you can lose a bit of the definition, but on the inside where I want to kind of create almost like a watermark effect, just a slightly lighter shade, you see that works really well. So pop that to one side as well. Close the ink pads up. As you know, I do get a bit inky. I'm a messy crafter. Okay, so now we can go on to layer these up. So quite simple, just grab your Stampin' seal. Oh, that's my Seal Plus. Would help if I read my labels. There we go, Stampin' seal. You don't need Seal Plus, you just need seal on this because it is just flat layers. Stampin' Seal Plus is used for our 3D projects or where we've got moving sort of parts to our cards. So I'll show you when we come to one of the pieces where I would use my Seal Plus. So just layer these on. You'll see that's got it's that 1/8 of an inch 3mm border. I'm going to do the same again with our DSP. And when you're using the seal, at the end you just tilt it to one side and that just breaks the seal. You don't have to be too vigorous. And you'll see that by popping it on this panel of petal pink, it just brings out that lovely pink colour that we've got. And we're going to pop that to one side. So now what you'll want is your trimmer, and I'm going to decide to make the base in soft succulent. So to start off with, you want a piece that's 24 by 10 centimetres, 9.5 by 4 inches, slightly narrower than usual, but that's to make it easy for the gatefold part on the front. And you're just going to score that at 14.5 centimetres, 5 3/4 inches. So in that sense, you've just got a bit of a variegated fold. You want a second piece, and this is 20 by 5 centimetres and it's 2 by 8 inches, and you're just going to score at 5 centimetres on both ends, or at 5 and 15. So 5 at 15, so that's 2 and 6 inches. So now you want to fold those, and we want to create a gatefold. So what I do with the gatefold is make sure they meet nice and square, and although we've scored them, just burnish those down so you've got a nice bit in the middle. And this is where, as I said, I'm going to use my Seal Plus here because this is going to attach, and this is like a moving part. So I'm just going to put my ones here. And with the Seal Plus, it's actually made out of like little strips. So when you lift it up at the end, it automatically breaks off. And you're going to line that up level right in the centre on both sides. So, now obviously it does blend in, but if you wanted a different colour, that would be a great place to pop it, because you're now going to put a layer inside, which means that you're not going to see that join at all. Because whilst it's the same colour, it's just obviously doesn't look very attractive. So pop that in there. So, right, now what I haven't done is my two pieces. On this one I've just gone for two simple pieces of DSP, and those are 4.5 by 4.5. And I would normally have added those on before I'd added them to the card. This is just those sort of deep shades of sort of mossy meadow. Like so. So now we can add our panel to the front. And then our front panel, we're just going to add some dimensionals. And just remember, you're only going to want those on the top half of this. So all we want to do now is pop that in the centre of our card. And there we have our barn door double Dutch card, like so. As you can see, just slightly different colours to these. I think both look lovely. I love soft succulent. I think it's a really soft, beautiful green. The Calypso coral works really well on both of them. Now if you wanted to step it up a bit and you've got some dies, then you can do the same card and just step it up a little bit by adding some die cut layers. So we can die cut the tulips out of here. I've kept the simple stamping, but I've stamped instead onto one of our other dies, Stitch So Sweetly. Yes, Stitch So Sweetly. And then you can see down here with the sentiment, I've actually stamped it twice, once in green, once in Poppy Parade, and then I have fussy cut those two focus words as well. So there we go. We have there, you've got 3 variations. You've got literally stamps ink and paper on these two, using 2 different colourways from the paper, and then this one is taking it up using our dies to create a different focal image. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon, and if you'd like to purchase any of the products you've seen today, just go below this video in the description box, press the little down arrow, and you'll find the links in there along with dimensions, links to my blog where I've got dimensions in centimetres and inches as well. Please do hit the subscribe button if you'd like to hear more from me on YouTube when I post a video. It really does make a difference and helps me provide these videos to you free of charge. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.